All right, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. The Indiana Pacers, man, they do it again. Find a way to win an amazing game 3, 116-107, and they take a 2-1 series lead in the NBA Finals. We're going to talk about it here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn on notifications, do all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. I'll link to my Twitter and all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So the Indiana Pacers, man, they find a way to do it again. An amazing win for them. Winning this game 116-107. They've taken a 2-1 series lead in this finals. What a game this was. Yeah, let's just go from the beginning to the end like we always do. OKC comes out hot. OKC comes out 15-6 run early on. Chet Holmgren, Lou Dort, they start to hit their shots early. OKC's defense does really good early, but Indiana has some spurts runs here and there. Halliburton comes out a lot more aggressive. The pace for the Pacers was a lot better, and the aggressiveness was really, really there. We get to the second quarter, and that's where a big part of this game happens. TJ McConnell and Benning Mathurin and Obi Toppin as well. Those three bench guys in the first half, in the second quarter early, came out. It was TJ McConnell started it with his energy, getting some steals off of inbounds, finding guys for, easy cuts and free throws. And the Pacers are just playing such a great game because they're playing with pace, but also it started with rebounding, and the Pacers actually lost the rebounding battle today, which is very interesting because I feel like in the first half, it was a huge part of Indiana to get rebounds. Indiana was closing on defensive possessions, getting rebounds, and running, getting out in transition, running and forcing OKC to kind of play chaotically on the defensive end, but not a good chaotically like they usually do. It was not a lot of great communication. It's not probably one of the worst defensive games I've seen from OKC in a little while. You know, and they're just getting easy points. Indiana was really running it up in the first half. I really liked how they came out and they were aggressive and they were really running, using their pace. Also pressing OKC and not letting OKC get out. Indiana won the turnover battle today. They were not turning the ball over nearly as much as they did in the first two games, and now allowing OKC to have use their superpower really and able to go out and get easy buckets like that. They're forcing OKC to play in the half court, which is what you really, really want. But all that said, OKC was staying in there. They're getting to the free throw line. Shea had a really good end to the second quarter. They're starting to get some free throws. And OKC, it was still only a 4-point game at halftime. That's why I feel like Indiana was outplaying OKC by so much. Still a close game, which I did not think boded very well for Indiana. But also, I think that's a testament to how good OKC is as a team. Gets to the third quarter, and OKC comes out hot in the third quarter, going an 8-0 run to start the third quarter. Start to get some easy buckets, and that's when I was like, oh shoot, here comes the OKC Avalanche. Here it comes. They haven't had one yet. Here it comes. But when I thought OKC was going to go on this big run maybe and throw a big punch in the face to Indiana responded right away. Tyrese Halliburton, who everybody's been talking about, he needs to be more aggressive. He came out aggressive. Whether it's taking the floater, jump shot, whether it's shooting the three, with Hartenstein and home, I feel like we're dropping a lot more than usual. So Hallie was, not afraid to take the three, and it was going in and it was falling. Pascal got some better looks and better touches in this game. And then the bench, again, Benning Mathurin was just absolutely incredible. I mean, Benning Mathurin came off the bench, it was just doing anything. Getting to the free throw line, hitting threes, getting to the mid-range area. He was just like an amazing game for me. TJ McConnell, 5 steals off the bench, still giving you some amazing minutes. OKC still not getting much production from a lot of teams. I mean, Shea, missed a lot of jump shots in this game, didn't get to the free throw line a whole lot. J-Dub looked like he shot well, but didn't really have a big impact. Chet Holmgren felt like after the first quarter, I don't think I seen him make a shot for the rest of the game unless it was a free throw. It was really tough for OKC offensively. And Indiana came out and they were really good, kept running the pace up. OKC ended the fourth quarter well, where Chet got a layup, but I think J-Dub hit a 3-pointer. That was really, really big. He gets to the fourth quarter, starts off very big back and forth, and then Indiana goes on another run thanks to Ben Mathurin, to TJ McConnell. Tyrese Halliburton hit some huge shots. Adrian Nembhard hit a couple shots. And honestly, I think it was more the defense. I think the defense of Indiana really won them this game in the fourth quarter, where they had an amazing fourth quarter. Miles Turner, who hadn't really done anything for the entirety of the game, came out, had an amazing defensive fourth quarter. 5 blocks, some huge stops and defensive stands with rebounds. Like, even though he had 2 rebounds, like, just His defense was amazing. Felt like the Indiana Pacers, something I said after the end of game two, is I want to see more aggressiveness in the defensive end on the perimeter for Indiana. I feel like they're allowing OKC to get a lot of open looks from three in game two. In this game, there's a lot more aggressiveness. There's a lot more of a feistiness and a hunger and an effort to come out and win this one and win the defensive battle. And that's what they did for Indiana. And for OKC, just really tough. I mean, they had a not tough shooting night. Shea had probably his worst shooting night in a very long time. The bench could not really provide much in the offensive end at all for OKC. Chet had a really bad game. And the fourth quarter just felt like a really stagnant offense. Like the only thing kind of keeping them afloat was the free throw line. Them getting the free, J-Dub getting to the free throw line, Chet getting to the free throw line. That's the only thing that really felt like kept them afloat. I felt like OKC got really tired and really stagnant. I feel like Indiana was really running up and down. Or I feel like the full court press for Indiana was really big in this game, forcing OKC to take a lot of time off the shot clock and forcing them to play in the half court. And OKC just was not prepared. Like this was honestly, it's probably the worst game I've seen OKC play in a while. I mean, they did not look great on a lot of moments tonight. And it felt like, I mean, they're lucky they only lost by 9 because they're just that good. But this easily could have been a blowout loss for them. It feels like Indiana was just kept hitting them and hitting them and hitting them and hitting them, and there's just so many great moments. And Indiana ends up getting this W. I look at some of the battles. Indiana wins the points off the paint battle, 50-48. The bench points, Indiana 49-18 in bench points, just huge. The fast break points on points off turnovers. Indiana wins the fast break point battle 17-10. They win the points off turnover battle 21-14. They outscore OKC 32-18 in the fourth quarter. OKC lost the turnover battle. I don't remember the last time OKC lost a turnover battle in this playoff run. 17-13. You know, Shea has 6 turnovers. J-Dub had 4 turnovers. Case and Wallace and Hartenstein had a couple turnovers. A really tough game. OKC shoots over 50% from the field. They only miss 3 free throws. They win the assist battle. They win the steals and the block battle as well. It just felt like Indiana had a different type of hunger than OKC had. OKC had a lot of moments where they just, one, it could have been, fatigue, and 2, just not, like, I feel like in game 2, OKC had that hunger of, like, no, we're not going down 2-0, no way. And I feel like this game, they didn't really have that as much as the Pacers had it. The Pacers had it. This just felt like a game 7 for Indiana, where Indiana knew kind of like, if we don't win this game, and if we let OKC come in here and just do what they want to do in this game, like, the series is over. This felt like a season on the line, series on the line type of effort and performance for the Indiana Pacers. And that's what they did. I mean, Bennedict Mathurin, 27 points off the bench. Couldn't ask for literally anything more from Bennedict Mathurin. He was awesome. Halliburton, 22, 9, and 11. 1 rebound on the move and triple-double. 4 for 8 from 3. 17 field goal attempts. The aggressiveness he had, the big shots he hit, the three-point shot he was willing to take was just big, and that opened up everyone else's game. Pascal gives you a cool 21, 6, and 4. Well, shooting 14. T.J. McConnell, 10 points, 5 assists, 5 steals off the bench. His energy and his impact was just undeniable. They don't win this game without T.J. McConnell's effort to start that run in the second quarter. Without T.J. McConnell's effort, they don't win this game. Obi Toppin gives you some good minutes. A plus 18 and 27 minutes off the bench. 8 points, 6 rebounds. He had a huge putback dunk and it had a big block in the fourth quarter to help them seal this game. Nesmith hit a big three-pointer in the fourth quarter, even though he didn't play a lot because of foul trouble. Nembhard hit a shot or two. I think he hit a big 3 in the second half and hit like a mid-range jump shot late in this game. That was big. Just amazing stuff in the Indiana Pacers. This is what the Indiana Pacers do, man. They just are the team of destiny. They fight so hard. And this was a huge win. I don't think you can explain enough how insanely huge and impressive this win was for Indiana. To be able to come in game 3 after you get beaten up in game 2, everybody in the world knows that you're a big underdog in this series. And they understood the importance of this game. And once they smelled a little bit of blood in the water, they went full on, full in. Everybody gave 100% effort, just doing all the things possibly could do right. This felt like dang near a perfect game for Indiana. Like, this felt like a perfect game. Like, the effort, the intensity level you got, the performances you got off the bench. I mean, you got 3 players with a double-digit plus-minus off the bench. You had someone put up 27 off the bench. You had Hallie had a dang near triple-double. You won the turnover battle. You won the points off turnover battle. Like, this felt like the defense in the fourth quarter was impeccable. Like, this felt like everything went right for the Indiana Pacers in this game, which was a good thing, maybe also not a good thing, because now I don't know what to expect really in game 4 after this type of performance. But for OKC, I mean, a really tough night. I mean, J-Dub had 26. but I honestly kind of didn't feel like he had 26. Like, there's a lot of big shots that he missed. He missed a couple free throws down the stretch. He had some turnovers. Like, I didn't feel like great game. Chet, even though he had 2010, wasn't a great game for Chet. I mean, there were some times where I felt like he was just kind of forcing it and just was lost in the offensive end. 6 for 15, over 6 from 3. The only thing he did well was get to the free throw line, and he had some good defensive plays. Shai, again, this is probably his worst shooting game. Probably worst game I've seen from Shai in a little while. 6 turnovers to only 4 assists. Shot 9 for 20, only got 6 free throw attempts. Just a tough game for him. And then Lu Dort tried. Lu Dort hit 4 threes in the first half. Well, not in the first half, but he hit his first 4 threes and then went over 4 the rest of the game. Casey Wallace wasn't really anything on the court. Caruso tried, but he just couldn't really get much going. And then Isaiah Hartenstein hit a couple shots here and there. Isaiah Joe hit 2 threes in the second quarter that were big. Aaron Wiggins didn't really do much. He didn't have nearly the game that he had in game 2, which I didn't expect at all. But just a really tough game for OKC. And this is really kind of like I feel like this kind of like a wake up call to OKC, man. Like, not saying that they are, I feel like there's a lot of, I don't know, maybe this is me personally. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of nonchalantness in this game for OKC. I felt like there was a lot of plays and a lot of times where it just felt kind of super like Indiana just really, Indiana deserved to win this game. Indiana put in more effort. Indiana showed a lot more heart, fight, and hustle than OKC did in this game. As simple as that. Like, there's a lot of moments I felt like OKC just didn't have it like the way Indiana did. And it shows on the scoreboard. It really does show. And they're going to need, obviously, that fight and hustle in game 4, which honestly I'm expecting. I'm expecting OKC to come back and have a really good game 4 because that's just what they do. And that's what I'm expecting. Jada and Chet just need to be better. The stat line doesn't look bad, but watching on the court, there's a lot of moments in this game for both of them where I felt like, man, they need to be better. They need to hit that shot. They need to make that play. There's a lot of moments in this game for both of them where I feel like they just need to be better. Like, I can't rely on Lu Dort keep hitting 4 threes every game. I can't rely on Alex Caruso having to hit, 4 or 5 threes. I can't rely on Andrew Wiggins having to score 20 off the bench. Like, I can't rely on that consistently. What I want to rely on is Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, my 2 all-stars, beside my MVP. I want to be able to rely on those 2 guys being able to consistently be good on the court and consistently give me really good production because that's what they do. And when they do that, they've shown when Chet and Jada are having great games, they win. They were the game against Minnesota, game 4 against Minnesota, where Minnesota won every statistical category they possibly could. OKC or Minnesota played about as good as a game you can get. But because Shai, Jada, and Chet all had really good games, they were able to win. It didn't matter. And even last game 2, Chet came out ready to go, had a great run in the first half, and they won that game. Like, Jada and Chet being able to have good performances is what makes OKC a championship level team. They're still really good without them, but nights like this show that they need those 2 to be consistently good. I said in the last game, like, I think Jada and Chet are going to have some big performances if OKC wants to win both these games in Indiana, and they didn't have it tonight, and Indiana was able to win this game. So I need J-Dub and Chet to have a great game 4. I need them both to have, or at least give me one of them to have a really good game 4, because I expect Shai to bounce back. Shai is not going to have another not like this in the finals. I feel like I can safely, confidently say Shai will not have another game like this in this series. I think I can rely. I'm going to trust the MVP to be able to do what he has to do. It's really about who's going along with him. We saw in game 1 where Shai was having an amazing game. No one else came along with him, and they lost. And this game wasn't amazing for him either. He didn't have a great game. I felt like I wanted him to see him take a lot more shots late in this game. I feel like the ball ended up in J-Dub and Chet's hands a lot more than I kind of wanted to at one point during this game. I want Shai to be a little more aggressive. He did not have a good night at all. I'm not giving him a pass or anything like that. But I am expecting Shai to bounce back in game 4 and have a really good game 4 like we saw in game 1 and game 2. I just need J-Dub. I need J-Dub and Chet to show up and be better. I need them to show up and be better. And for Indiana, I don't know how much I can rely on Indiana having another game like this again. I don't know how much I can rely on Ben Mathurin having another almost 30 piece off the bench. I don't know how much I can rely on TJ McConnell having this type of performance off the bench. I don't know how much I can rely on this defense being as amazing as it was, I don't know how much I can rely on you winning the turnover battle and winning the points off turnover and transition point battle. I don't know how much I can rely on that. But what I hope to be able to rely on in game four is the same level of intensity and effort and energy. And I think if they can give that, they're going to be good. Like, that's just what they need to do. This effort and this aggressive, this intensity was just infectious. And that was a huge propeller of why they won this game. And they're going to need to do the same exact thing in game four. Even if the statistical performances aren't the exact same, the shots aren't falling the same or whatever. OKC maybe is just playing so much better. The effort level is what's going to keep them in the game. So I think the effort level has to stay at this type of level in game four. And this just makes me even more excited for the rest of the series, man. This has been a really fun series so far. Really fun series so far. Indiana has a lead at 2-1 lead. Like, who would have expected that? Just been such a fun series so far. You know? And so now I'm even more excited and I cannot wait to see what comes in game four. But guys, give me a hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. Links to my Twitter and all stuff down in the description below once again. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.